Robot1 here, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video. And in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video, I have delved the plains of Yu-Gi-Oh! I have gone over the skies, gone over the heavens, ever since the ban list was announced, and I have found the holy grail of truth that tells us what the top 5 best decks of this format are. So, guys, I've been thinking about what the best decks of this format are. Obviously, as every Yu-Gi tuber does when a new ban list comes out, we assess what the ban list has done, we think about what the ban list is doing, and we just think about what's coming out later on and talk about what we personally feel are the best decks of the format. Because obviously when Konami release a ban list, that is a ton of free content for us, am I right? Like every Yu-Gi tuber knows what I'm on about, so yeah, I have figured out to my personal idea what the top 5 best decks in the format are, and we're just going to talk about them today. So let's get into it, because I want to give you guys my thoughts, my opinions, and all of that good stuff. And with those, please press the like button and the subscribe button for more Yu-Gi videos. Plug, but sure, why not? But yeah, guys, let's get into it. So at number 5, Number 5, it's a deck that obviously we all don't like, we're happy got hit, and is obviously going to not be as good as it once was, but still going to be very good, is Sky Striker. Yes, Sky Striker will still be competitive, even though they've lost 2 Kagari. They still have access to everything they once did. They have access to their multi-roll, they have access to Engage, they have access to Widow Anchor, they still have access to all of their Link monsters as well, outside of the 2 Kagari, such as Shizuku to search during the end phase, Hayate to send from deck to grave, Shizuku, Hayate, Kagari, and the Chakanine, the new Link one that is the Earth one, which lets you just win in time, which is suck it. Time is always annoying, but yeah, so Sky Striker are definitely going to be a very good deck still, even though they've lost 2 Kagari, they haven't really been hit very heavily. Like, I knew if it was only Kagari getting hit, and sorry for the cough, I do still have my bad cough, even though it's only Kagari getting hit in the deck didn't lose a whole lot. The deck still has a lot of what it once did, and honestly, the deck will still be as powerful as it once was. It just lose a lot of late game grind from what happened. So the deck is still going to be very good and still be seen in top cuts. Don't know if it will win a YCS again. We'll see. It might. You know, people could put the Sky base into the deck to put Kagari back in the extra deck easier, I guess. But honestly, Sky Striker, they're still a very competitive deck. They have all the things that they had before, just minus some recursion, and the multi-roll is the biggest card in the deck, seeing as it's the one that mainly just sets up all the cards back on the end of the turn. So Sky Striker, still a very good deck. Lose out on the grind game quite a lot now, but definitely going to be one of the best decks of the format still at number 5. So yeah, Sky Striker, number 5, that's my personal thoughts and opinions. But at number 4 was a deck, it was like, this deck is actually really powerful going into this format, and that is Otto Geist. Yes, Otto Geist. Now, Otto Geist are only one of the top 4 best decks of this format, purely because of what we're getting in Dark Neostorm. Now, Otto Geist, obviously, they've been on a decline recently because the deck has, there's so much back row hate in the format, there's so much stuff to counter them, that they haven't really been doing a lot. But the deck actually gets a huge boost in Dark Neostorm. They get Spell Mining Cave, which is the new spell card that basically says, if your opponent controls more monsters, they can't attack with monsters or activate monster effects, can't use dangers, can't attack me with your big monsters, I summon Multi-Faker and Sigalaquis while you control 4 monsters. Have fun indeed. And at any point in time, if I only have 1 monster like a Melisig and want to just poke you, I can be like, poke, personal spoofing, put it back, you can't even ask me because it's cost. Fun, right? But honestly, the deck is going to be really powerful now because of that, and also because we're getting a card called Manhunt, the new continuous trap card, which is basically Snatch Steal, and it's not even once per turn. Because you get to target 1 monster your opponent controls, take control of it. You can't activate any of its effects or attack with the card, but you can do whatever you want with that card outside of that. You can use it as fusion material, you can use it as link material, you can use it as Xyz material, you can do whatever you want with it. And in also, guys, just being able to remove your opponent's biggest threat monster, such as maybe, I don't know, a Crystal Wing, a Red Archfiend, if they've already used the effect, of course, the Saruja, or just something really big on their board, or against Sky Striker, such as the Kagari, the Shizuku, the monsters that if you got rid of them yourself, your opponent would just gain resources such back as Ray. So with Spell Mining and Minecraft and Spell Mining and Manhunt, the deck just gets a huge boost in Dark Neostorm, and the deck actually just becomes a lot better because of that. And also the deck obviously still has all of its old resources, such as Secret Village of the Spellcasters, Anti-Spell Fragrance for decks such as Endymion and Pendulums and Striker themselves, Imperial Order, Pot of Extravagance, which obviously gave the deck a huge boost outside of just before this in Savage Strike, but the deck didn't do a lot because so much back row hate. And the deck just gains a lot from this format, and also it has really good matchups against decks like Solomon Great. Just summon Siliquise, return the Foxy or whatever they normal summon to the hand, and they can't play anymore. Just that easy. And it's just a deck that really just does gain a lot of support from all the floodgates in the format. And obviously, the deck did lose something from the Master Rule from the policies and procedures, such as Mind Crush being a really bad card now. But outside of that, Otto Geist are really good now. They really gain a lot of support from Dark Neostorm, and they're just really good general and still being able to just use Faker, utilize all the trap cards in the game, Solemns, Secret Village, Spell Cave Mining, Manhunt. Just all good cards that work in Otto Geist, in my personal opinion, and will help the deck to be able to achieve a lot more from going forward in the game. So, Otto Geist at number 4, definitely feel like they're going to go further. And let's go on to number 3, because I've talked enough about Otto Geist. I like Ghost Girl. I like it. But yeah, at number 3, who? I bet you guys couldn't see this coming. Endymion. Yes, Endymion is the third best deck in this format. Now, why is it the third best deck in this format, though? Well, Endymion is just a deck that is basically pendulums. It's a pendulum deck that can do so much can do so much in the game in general, that I honestly just see it doing a lot. Like, honestly, you can play the Magician variant that basically makes a board of like 6-7 negates fairly easy. I've done it before on stream. I've got pictures of it as evidence. I'm not even joking here. Or you can play a pure variant that focuses on like the Amorphage engine to be able to play Sloth, Goliath, that red one that I can't remember his name, that stops spell cards. You can tech in stuff like Secret Village of the Spellcasters as well to prevent your opponent from playing spell and trap cards. It doesn't even hurt. It doesn't lose to any hand traps in the game really. And if you do have a hand trap, the deck's main free called by the grave. So we're going to gain spell counters, and we're going to stop you from stopping me. So yeah, and obviously if you get Ogred on your Electromite, it is going to be a hard time, but the deck just has a lot going for it right now, thanks to its being just released, thanks to the deck having just so much pendulum support in general, being that it has a board wipe S boss monster that can also negate things and search spell cards when it dies. The deck just has a lot in general. And it really is a deck that is going forward is going to be really, really good and really powerful. So I definitely see Endymion being the third best deck in this format. It's just got so much power. It can make a board of Disruption into the Dragon variant. It can make a board negates. It can make a board of disruptions. It can OTK you out of nowhere, literally. So this deck can literally be like, I'm OTK you. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to OTK. So, Endymion Magician, Endymion Pendulum, Endymion Amorphage, all of those builds are really good, and I can see them all being very powerful in this format, and I can definitely see Endymion just being one of the best decks going into this format as we go forward in the game. So, Endymion, great deck, very powerful still, and definitely one of the best decks going into this format. But yeah, guys, let's go on to the next deck, because I like Endymion as well, man. I like majority of these decks. I would play them all if I could. But yeah, Next deck, that is number 2, is Thunder Dragons. Yes, Thunder Dragons, they did take a hit on the list, quite a big one to be fair, losing out on Summon Sorceress and Dark Matter Dragon, stopping them from being able to use stuff like a Morphage Goliath, and just tutor out another Thunder Dragon monster. But the deck actually never really needed stuff like Summon Sorceress to begin with. It never really needed Dark Matter to begin with. The deck still did a lot without those cards. So even though the deck lost those 2 cards, the deck didn't get hurt a big deal at all. They've still got the Wyvern Busters to be able to, the White and Black Dragon Wyvern Buster, to be able to banish your Thunder Dragons from the grave, get additional summons, go even further through there. They've still got the ability of just being able to make triple Colossus turn 1. They've still got the ability to make a board of some amount of negates. Like, honestly, the deck didn't lose a lot. When you really think about it, it's still got a majority of its cards, it's still got a majority of its combo pieces, and even though it did lose Summon Sorceress and Dark Matter Dragon, the deck still does a lot. It can still make triple Colossus, it can still make a board of negates, it can still make a board of disruption, if you really think about it with like Titan, and being able to make like Zombie-Stein and Levianair, and being able to get rid of cards in your opponent's hand with stuff like Levianair and Diablos, and the deck still just has everything it had once before, just minus Summon Sorceress and Dark Matter Dragon. So the deck still can do a lot in the game, the deck is still very disruptive in the game, and the deck is still very powerful in the game. So, honestly, I don't see the deck losing favor, I don't see the deck... I don't see the deck going down at all. I can still see the deck going so far in the game, so... Thunder Dragon, definitely still a really good choice to play this format, definitely one of the best decks in this format, and honestly, in my personal opinion, it didn't lose anything. It just got a slight tap on the wrist again. So, yeah. Thunder Dragon's still really good, and they probably will be for quite a long time, until at least a bit after the Megatons. But yeah. But what deck is number 1? But what deck is number 1? Well, I bet you guys can all guess what deck is number 1. It's Solomon Greats! Solomon Greats! Oh, you're so great! Oh. I hate to say it, but losing a debug does nothing. This deck is still still a broken deck. This deck still can do everything it once did. Literally, Konami's decision was to limit Lady Debug. Cynet Mining's in Dark Neostorm. Literally, limiting Lady Debug has done nothing to this deck. Like, sure, you limit Lady Debug. Okay, you're giving me Cynet Mining in a week. You're literally giving me Cynet Mining in a week, and it does nothing to the deck. The deck can still do its standard combo turn 1, where it uses Cynet Mining to get maybe the Lady Debug in your deck. Go even further than that to be able to go the whole combo, where you can make like, oh, I don't know, a Babushka, or Sunlight Wolf, Stalio, Jaguar, then have like traps set up in the back row. Like, the deck still does everything it once did. The deck lost nothing. It can still make its whole board turn 1 board. It can still OTK out of nowhere. It can still do everything it did before, and it's just even more consistent now because of Cynet Mining. Literally, one debug does nothing. We get Cynet Mining in a week. And some builds didn't even play Cynet Mining to begin with. They played Buffalo, which I still don't think is a good card, but hell, I might even play it now myself, seeing as Cynet Mining just lets me get the material to discard to then use Buffalo's effect. Like, literally, this deck has lost nothing. The deck is still very powerful. It can still OTK out of nowhere. It can still set up its board of disruptions turn 1. It can still do its standard plays, and it can still run all the goddamn hand traps in the world. If you brick a hand trap turn 1, Cynet Mining, discard hand trap, add Lady Debug to hand, or Gazelle to hand, or Spinny, or Foul, or Foxy, or whatever you feel like you need, and just play the game from there. Literally, Konami did nothing on this list. Limiting Lady Debug was just a cash cow because of Cynet Mining is a secret rare, and Solomon Great are still the best deck in the format. Well, are now the best deck in the format. Striker kind of had that position to a degree, but now this deck is the best deck in my personal opinion. So, guys, that's my thoughts and opinions. I definitely feel like these decks are going to have very high representation in the format. Sky Striker, 1 Kagari, it does a bit to the deck, but the deck is still fine. It's great. It won't lose anything really from this in general. Going throughout the whole list, Sky Striker, they're still going to be decent. They've lost the late game advantage really from the Kagari, but the deck will still perform very well. Otto Geist, it just gets so much support, and it can still do everything it once did, that I can't see this deck not being very good in this format, and stuff like that. And Damien, Pendulum, man, they'll come out of left gate and kill you. They'll hold a knife to your throat, man. They'll hold a knife to your throat. Thunder Dragons, they lost practically nothing. They can still do everything they once did as well. And Solomon Great, same with that. They lost nothing. They can still do everything they once did. But guys, there are obviously other decks you could play this format. There's like Dinos with 3 Miscellaneous Saurus. You don't have the DANE along anymore, but you can still do a lot in that deck with UTC, settle opponents' monsters and just watch them cry. True Draco, obviously another good choice. Trickstar is a decent choice. There are other decks in the format that you can play, but these are just what I personally feel like are the top 5 best decks in this format. But guys, if you have any thoughts, different opinions on me, if you think that all these decks are wrong, if you think these decks are correct, if you think these decks are different or should be changed in any order or anywhere, shape or how, tell me that in the comment section below, because I want to hear your personal thoughts and opinions on that, so I can get your guys' thoughts on that, because obviously I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions as well. I have mine, I might as well take yours into consideration as well and see if that can change my opinion. But guys, tell me that in the comment section below. If you liked the video, don't forget to press the like button to show that you enjoyed it. Sorry for any coughing in this video. I do have a bad throat right now. I can't help it. It really is annoying, and I want it gone as quick as possible, but you know, I have to wait. It happens. And press the subscribe button to be subscribed for future YouTube videos, notification bell as well, to be notified of those videos, and to be notified of streams that I do at 7 PM UK time, on 8 PM UK time on Thursday afternoons. And guys, that's the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as I said. And, oh god, my throat. I'll see you guys next time. Robert1, signing out. Salad is still the best deck. Later.